So you want to create a buzz surrounding your product or service and brand its image in the minds of consumers. Myra Burks-Davis from MBD Strategic Communications is here to share some insight on why social media has become the must-use tool. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
It seems easy when you talk about social media, but there are some things you need. There's a way to go about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's the challenge that some larger companies have been having and trying to determine whether or not this is something they want to engage in, because it seems easy, it seems social. And so kind of finding that balance between, can we engage people in a way that adds to our bottom line, and by the same token manage our employee interest in what the work product is versus the social aspect.
Is this sort of like product placement in the movies where you place the Coke can next to the superhero and, you know, kind of work your product into the conversation?
You know, it definitely is something similar to that, because that is a marketing tool, product placement. It's not a direct hit you in the head that says, buy my product, but it is a bit subliminal. I think social media is a little more engaging in that it challenges a company now to say, this is my brand, this is my product, but this is who we are. These are the things that are important to us. These are the issues that are important to us. This, you know, we're willing to engage you on things that may not directly relate to our product.
So give us an example of effective use of social media. Who's doing that?
Well, an effective use of social media is when you can engage in your public. You go to that community, you create your own community, and your public now wants to engage you. There are some challenges for some companies because they're, you know, not willing to actually commit the resources. So our large companies, the larger corporations, are a little slower on the draw. There is an uptick in their use of social media, but they're still very challenged with, how do we use this for customer service? How do we decide how to commit resources to this? Smaller businesses have kind of push the envelope on this use because sometimes you have less resources. And with those resources that are available to you, if you're in a position to hire a consultant, you do, but you have people who are willing to do the work. They'll pull up their sleeves. In many small businesses, you have to do everything anyway. Right. You know, so this may be that challenge of that one extra thing, understanding your market, understanding where they are, who's where. It doesn't mean anything to be on Facebook if your specific demographic is not utilizing Facebook.
Right. So you're reaching out to an audience that's already there, but you have to connect with them. I'm thinking
Absolutely.
of like the Benetton ads, you know, joining a cause and associating that with your product.
Yes, a lot of the cause-related organizations are doing a very good job with social media, but there are a lot of great causes, and so you're still in a competitive stage for all of that attention. But for most companies, at least 50% of your consumer base is on social media in some form. It may take some research to determine. If I want to reach women, Pinterest.com, which is kind of like a virtual vision board, 80% of the people on Pinterest are women who are engaging, and they're there for great periods of time. It's a very visual type of social media network. Understanding how to use a tool like that, because I want to speak to women, you know, if that's what my company wants to do.
And then knowing how to speak to women.
And knowing how to speak to women. And so one of the things I think is really, really important is for organizations to understand that engaging in social media is a commitment. It's one of the tools that should definitely be in your arsenal. It's not the only tool. Traditional media, advertising, they all have their place as well. But it's a dance, it's an orchestra, and you need to bring these things together in a meaningful way with some strategies to determine how to reach your core audience.
I would imagine too, social media being more timely than say commercials that you run for a quarter of the year requires that you do unique things to keep the buzz going.
Oh, absolutely. Content is king, and it's probably overused, but it's not overemphasized. You know, it can't be. Video. Visuals, and you see the surge in social media networks like Pinterest or Instagram or Tumblr or Flickr, where a lot of the visual aspect of telling your story is engaging people. You know, creativity, new thought, innovation. You know, we were talking earlier, and I likened it to, you know, Go West, Young Man, the days when that was new frontiers, and social media opens up that way of communication. It's ever evolving, it's ever changing. It takes commitment. It also means understanding that quantity is trumped by quality. You know, so just to have 10,000 followers who never re-engage after they come to your page the first time, that's not the quality that you're looking for.
Right. You want that continuous
You want
engagement.
continuous dialogue. You want people who are interested in your brand and your product.
Has this opened up the market for younger people in terms of the job market because they're more social media conscious?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, for those of us who aren't quite as young, you know, it also, but if you have open mind and open thought, you have to find a way to build the bridges between traditional media relations, traditional public relations, and bringing these things together to merge to get the most effective results in your branding.
Interesting stuff, insightful. We'll have to talk more about it next time.
Okay, look forward to it.
Coming on board and joining us.
Okay, Brian, thanks for having me.